Here's my mindfulness Doormat book, which I think I might attempt to read every single bit of it in one go. I never read many things as long as this. Chapter 1. Anne didn't know exactly when the light had vanished from her life, but it definitely had. It was a struggle for her to get out of bed in the morning. It was a struggle for her to have a shower, and it was even a struggle for her to brush her teeth. All she wanted to do was sleep. Anna had hit rock bottom. Not that she'd ever been anywhere near the top, she thought sadly. Her only daughter had left home, and her obsessive husband was always too busy to take her out to dinner, and she couldn't remember the last time that she had any fun. Fun was a foreign word to her. The only fun that she had was eating and watching daytime TV. Unfortunately, she usually had a packet of her favourite chocolate biscuits beside her, and she often polished off a whole packet in one go. Anna didn't care that she'd put on a massive amount of weight. No one had noticed her before, and she knew that they wouldn't now. Her TV was her life, and she loved watching all of the romantic programs. When her boring husband was at work, there was no way that he'd watch them with her, she thought sadly. He didn't know what romance was, she thought. He had never bought her flowers or even told her that he loved her. The only thing that he seemed to love was football, beer, and going to the betting shop and spending all their savings. She thought angrily. Oh, yes, she was angry, stupendously angry, like the world's biggest, hottest volcano, she thought, as she popped another biscuit into her mouth. But to most people, she appeared to be as placid as a pond, as meek as a church mouse. But they didn't know her. No one did. She was like an iceberg with hidden depths. Chapter 2. Munch, munch, munch. Munch, munch. Anna was halfway through a pack of chocolate biscuits, and they were her favourite. She couldn't resist them. They were like honey to the bee, she thought, smiling a rare smile. Anna was happy to eat, as she was worried, very worried. In 3 days she was going to be 50. She hated birthdays, apart from the cake, and she hated all of the fuss from all of her pretend friends. The only way for her to stem her worries was to eat and watch the TV. It stopped her thinking. As she dunked another fat, sticky biscuit into her sugary tea, she tried to remember a time when she wasn't miserable. It took her a while to cut through the cobwebs of the past and to reveal a cheery, smiling girl of 15 who had real friends and who had loved to laugh. She once was a girl who was vivacious and who loved playing netball, who was a champion of cross country and who loved hockey. She had been the life and soul of the party. Where was that girl now? She thought sadly, as she ate another biscuit and looked down miserably at her fat legs. Tears filled her eyes, and she remembered all of the dreams that she had when she was young. She had wanted excitement and romance, and all she had was a boring, miserable life and a love-starved marriage. Anna flicked through the channels absent-mindedly. There must be something good on, she thought, but there wasn't. Anna was so bored and dejected that she watched the shopping channels, and she opened another packet of biscuits. They were selling rowing machines and exercise bikes. She couldn't remember the last time she had exercised. And then a memory flooded into her mind, and her once bright eyes flooded with tears. Chapter 3. Flashbacks. It was school sports day. The sun was blazing down, and Anna was determined to do well in the cross-country run. This was her moment to shine. She had been practicing for months, running around the estate in the dark, while all the other girls had been busy, talking about boys and hanging round off-licenses. Anna knew that she was well prepared, and they all set off across the field. Anna sprinted ahead, and she knew that it was her best chance. The other girls laughed. They thought she was crazy. Let them laugh, she thought, and she jumped over puddles and fallen branches like a gazelle. She could hear the girls chatting and joking far behind. They weren't taking it seriously at all, but unknown to Anna, one girl was. The school bully was Anna's nemesis, and she was catching on to Anna's plan. She didn't think Anna could win, but she didn't want her to get too far in front. Anna had sprinted for the first 5 minutes, and she was drenched in sweat, but she felt exhilarated and happy. She was determined to keep going, but she was beginning to become tired and slow down, and the pack was getting closer and closer. Don't look, I'm going to win, she thought as she approached the finish line, and she smiled inwardly at the surprised faces of the crowds. Her idea to sprint a big, wide, happy smile. Her idea to sprint a big, happy. But it didn't last long. The first half mile had paid off. No one thought she'd last, of course. She even doubted herself, but she had succeeded, and for once she was smiling genuine. End of chapter 3. I'm too tired to do it. I'll do the next bit tomorrow.